Welcome to Rebecca and Rebecca.
Where we love books.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Rebecca and Rebecca, where we love books. My name is Rebecca Yager, and I'm coming to you from north of Dallas, Texas, and my partner in books is Rebecca Reed in rural Indiana. How are things in Indiana, Rebecca?
Well, we're moving along, the weather's still kind of roller coaster like, but that's normal for us, so.
True that. Yeah, well, we're heating up already, so not ready.
Yeah.
Not ready at all. But anyway, so today, hey, we're talking about books, which we love, and we read a book called The Copper Scroll by a new to us author, and actually he's a new author. I think this
Yeah.
is his debut book, Nicholas Teeguarden. And again, The Copper Scroll, and it's an Indiana Jones type big adventure. So we're going to tell you all about it. So Rebecca, why don't you tell us about the book, and then we'll discuss our thoughts.
All right. So this is book one of the Massa Chronicles, and he calls it an archaeological thriller inspired by the Dead Sea Scrolls. So it's here is the back cover. It says, "A lost scroll, a deadly secret, a race across the Middle East where every clue could be fatal." When grad student and Army veteran Joshua Bennett uncovers a cryptic Dead Sea artifact, he's thrust into a world of coded messages, ruthless rivals, and ancient conspiracies. Every answer leads to new danger, and every ally could be an enemy. So there you go.
Ooh, ooh, short but sweet. But that's such a brief description for what was a big sweeping book, a big adventure.
Yes, a huge adventure. Like as you mentioned, Indiana Jones, National Treasure. These are the types of stories that compare to this one.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a big cinematic. I mean, it literally reads like a movie. The settings are exceptionally well done, and you're basically there with the characters in the scenes. Um,
Yep.
yeah.
And the Middle East. And that was one thing that we thought Nick Teagarden did very, very well was lay
Yes.
out the setting and where they were. And you could just drop yourself in it and feel like you were on this adventure with the characters. And it's Massa Bennett, Joshua Bennett, and Noah. And they kind of start out as enemies, which are rivals anyway, and stuff
Yeah.
until they join forces. And it's kind of fun to watch their tension. So there's a little bit of the character tension there. And then there's the tension and the conflict throughout the book because, you're in the Middle East and it's ISIS and it's the Mossad and
And
the
the
Templars.
mysterious Templars,
Yes.
right? So he kind of combines all these groups that we've heard about, for years, really, since the
Mhm.
Iran and Iraq and all the crises that have happened there. You've got all of them. So he didn't just do one, he did all three. And the connection and the interaction between these groups, I think, was one of the other things that it was interesting in this story because they're all after the same thing. And so are Masa and Noah and the people that they're with, like the university museum people, right? Um, and so, but even though they're all after the same thing, they all have different reasons for wanting that particular thing. And it all centers around the Copper Scroll, which is the title. And the title refers to an actual thing. This is really a thing, I believe.
Mhm.
And everybody's heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I had never heard of the Copper Scroll until I read this story. I think it's a real thing. I guess we'll have to
I
ask
think
him
it
and make
is. I
sure.
think it is.
Um, but they all want this particular thing because it's like a treasure map. And that's what Masa thinks anyway. And not everybody agrees with him. There's kind of a two camps, I think, on this scroll. Some believe it's an actual physical treasure that they're seeking, and some
Mhm.
believe it's kind of more of a spiritual treasure.
Mhm.
And so you have
Mhm.
all this mystery surrounding it. And of course, it's not in English, right? Or
Mhm.
any language that's really easily decipherable. So they're having to like work through all of the meanings of things and figure out what does this mean? What does that mean? Does it refer to this? Does it refer to this other thing? And you're dealing with time and the erosion of physical places and landmarks and
Mhm.
looting and accidental things and earthquakes and all of the things that could cause
Mhm.
the land to change.
Mhm.
So as they're searching, they're not even sure they're like looking in the right places, and
Mhm.
there's a whole lot of that. So it's very Indiana Jones like in that regard. And then of course with the people always chasing Indiana Jones, there's the villains, right? So it's
Mhm.
yeah. Lots of adventure, lots of movement, lots of pieces, but there's also a lot of um like ideology going on, the reasons behind all the things. So, yeah.
Well said. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so big sweeping book and the big adventure of it. And overall, we liked this book very much. We will, and I'm just going to put this in the middle here. We talked a little bit about language, and there are a couple of words from the villains that are true to character um, that
Quite
some people won't.
mild compared, I mean, they're
Oh
not
gosh,
like
yeah.
big bad words, too
No,
super bad, but they are on the list. And we wanted to be fair, and let you know that they're there, but easily skippable. If you're, don't want to read those things. They're not, it's not a big deal. We just want to make sure everybody's aware
it's our little
that they're there.
disclaimer for this
Mm-hmm.
particular book.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I think it's what, two or three times is all, and it's a big
Yeah,
book.
not very much. And they're really close together. So if you see one, you can like kind of,
Then and I think I even missed the first one, and it wasn't until the second one I went, oh, because it's just so you're so involved in the book. And again, it's not the big bad curse words at all, but just we're just being anyway.
hmm
Disclaimer. Moving on.
yes.
To do.
And so, yeah. So this does like travel through quite a lot of the Middle East. You're in Oman, you go all the way into Jerusalem, and there's some other Jordan and some other places in
Mhm.
between. So it covers a lot of ground. It covers quite a bit of time as well. Um, there, I mean, and there's a lot of unreliable characters who say one thing and do another.
Mhm.
So it keeps you kind of thinking, like, oh, is this new person we just met? Are they going to be a good guy or a bad guy?
You
And
sometimes
are
you're
they going to
not
switch
sure.
sides? Are they going
Yeah.
to stick with whatever they start out to be? Because
Yeah.
so there's a lot of that. So if you enjoy thrillers like that, you would probably most likely enjoy this story. Um, so this is a question, I guess, just for you and I as readers, right? Because a lot of people do this in their stories. They have certain little things that they kind of come back to a lot to anchor you to a particular scene, a particular person, a particular, whatever it might happen to be. And I've read a lot of writers who do that. Um, and there is some of that in this story as well. And this, we have to remember, this is a debut author. So I
So
know
you're talking
thinking
about the
about,
character quirks and things that
yeah,
kind of are
yeah,
identifying the character that he talks about. Yeah.
right, right. And I mean, like I remember the first story that I wrote, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I'm sure mine was really, really, really bad. And so when I submitted it the first time to some contest or other, people were probably going, "Oh my gosh, what is this woman doing?" Um, but I'm just asking for you as a reader, like, is that something you enjoy? Is that something that bothers you? Because some authors do it a lot, some authors don't do it at all. Like have some kind of little, whether it be, whatever it is,
Well,
a
let's say a
saying or
character just twirls her hair a lot. So she's like this. But how often do you want that mentioned? How would it bug you after a while? Do you like to, the quirks that a character has? What helps you identify or get into the character better? And would it be a quirk? And I'm just using that as an example of
right.
in the hair, or some people flip pins in their hands, how some do,
Yeah.
you know.
Because we've read books that had different things that characters do. I'm curious for those of you watching, like how much is too much? What do you like? Do you enjoy that kind of thing? Do you like it when certain like phrases are repeated that are more like about the theme of the book, maybe? Maybe a something that a character was told in the past and it's repeated periodically through the story. How much is too much? Do you enjoy that kind of thing? Is it necessary? Do you not like it at all? I'm just curious. Maybe I'll make a poll to ask that
Well,
question
yeah.
because I don't know. I mean, I've read stories both ways, and to me, sometimes I really like it, and other times maybe it's okay, not so much. I don't know. So, curiosity as a reader, how do you feel about that? You
How
can
do you
let us
feel
know.
about character quirks or repeated things that ground you into the story? Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Yeah.
yeah.
Because we can't
So
give away
back,
spoilers, so I'm not gonna.
no, we can't. Um, Yeah. So back to the story, I guess. Um, I thought he did a great job of personalizing these big groups, right? We talked about ISIS, we talked about Mossad, we talked about Templars. Um, he does a good job of picking out, like there's a representative or
Mhm,
so, or two of these
mhm,
groups that kind of he uses then to um, as personalities that come from these groups that we can identify with.
mhm.
And I'm curious how much research that took to really get those because I felt like he nailed them pretty well. I mean, from
Yeah.
what my understanding, I haven't done any research per se, but I'm just from news articles and different things that I've read and whatnot. I mean, I bought into it. I thought it seemed quite um, well done in my mind. So it'd be interesting to see how much he had to do,
How much
research
research he had to
wise.
do. He had to have done just an inordinate amount of research to get all the details he did with the
Yeah.
setting and with these groups and the representation of them, and even to write these grad students, college student kids so well. I mean, you're really into Moss's head and Noah's head. So I thought the characters, especially the two lead characters, were really richly drawn and and
Yeah. And
oh,
the
and
hunt
accurate.
too, like, to follow these clues, like to think about, and the connection, the biblical connections with the writings, that go along with the different biblical characters that are mentioned as well. It's all that stuff's all very authentic and it feels to me like we're doing an archaeological, dig and search and following kind of a treasure hunt sort of a thing.
Mhm.
um
Yep.
I don't know that I could write this kind of story. It just really, I mean, it's on the scale of a large, fantasy type story where you're building a whole world. I guess I can
Mm.
write a story like that. It's just not going to be this one because I'm not this person. But yeah, now that I think about it, I guess I should retract that statement. So anyway,
You could create the world, but this is, like you said, I think you said it well at the beginning. This is a cinematic book where you're reading it and you're just you're watching it like a movie or visualizing
hmm
it. like you're watching
Yeah.
a movie. And I don't think everyone can write that way in that sense. It's on a
Mm-mm.
grander scale, so to
Right.
speak.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not this sweet little intimate book. It's a big adventure book.
Hmm. Yeah. True.
I,
Yeah. So, I mean, it's quite interesting, and like I said, there's going to be people who are going to just love it because that's the kind of story they like. And I think there are going to be people who are going to be like, archaeology? No. Right? There's a relationship too. It is a love story. There is a love story embedded in this. It's not the main focus. I
no,
wouldn't call
no,
it a
no.
romance. It's not a romance, but it has romance in it. Quite a lot, actually. For as big a story as it is, I think, for the
Well,
thriller aspect.
it's a slow growing. I mean, as they
Yeah.
work together. So it develops all through the book and not just bam, instant like. It is a very much a slow burn because they're busy.
Oh, they're busy.
They're on the
They're
trail.
busy.
So it's
Super
like
busy.
they don't have a lot of time for romance, but he did the underneath. Yeah, in fact, that's right. That was well drawn out. Um,
Hmm.
I thought, but I don't know if you like the Indiana Jones type book or type story or National Treasure,
Hmm.
this fits right into that little genre very neatly. I
Yes.
think
Quite
it's
well.
really ambitious book for a debut author, and we'll have to see what else Mr. Teeguarden is working on as we go forward. We're going to talk to him in a couple of weeks, so I hope you come back and meet someone new. And if this book is kind of seems like something you'd be interested in, then I think you need to meet the author too behind it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to meet him. Um,
Yeah,
so
he's new
yeah.
to us, new to, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
so we'll be kind of meeting him for the first time as well, right along with you. So,
Yes. And in the meantime, we are excited because we've been continuing our book bites. And let's see what we just had Harvest of Hope, right? And Rhonda Wells was our latest one, I believe.
let's see.
Yeah, that was the last one we did.
Yes, yes.
We
And
put
then we're going
out.
to be talking with Trisha and Nathan Goyer again coming up on our next book
Yeah,
bites.
with Twist of Time, which is
Twisted.
their third installment, fourth
It's
and
a third.
yeah, third
Mhm.
installment in their the steampunk historical romance, whatever all that stuff
Cool,
is. It's
cool
it's cool,
books.
the cool mishmash of all the things.
The cool books that we enjoy on that. And again, we're talking to Nicholas in a couple of weeks. So yeah, May is yeah, pick a Wednesday. There's going to be something new
Yeah.
for you to enjoy as we go along here. Please comment. Have a conversation
Yes.
with us. Tell us your thoughts on book bites. Tell us your thoughts on these big sweeping novels like Nick Teeguarden wrote here, and share with us anything you want to talk about or anything you'd like to see from us
Yeah.
as we
Take
go
the
down the
poll.
road.
Give us some feedback and like and subscribe. You can find all of the links for all the podcast places on RebeccaandRebecca.com.
Yep, and
And
yeah, like and subscribe. We're pick social media, Instagram. We're there. It's either Rebecca and Rebecca or Rebecca and Rebecca reviews, but you can find us pretty easily. All our links again are at RebeccaandRebecca.com. Meanwhile, if you want a cinematic adventure book, then pick up The Copper Scroll by Nicholas Teeguarden, and we'll look forward to our conversation with him in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, take care and we will see y'all next time.
yeah, bye bye.